Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. It is June the 25th, 2022, and today the topic is wisdom, stature, and favor. Happy Saturday, everybody. Happy Saturday. I hope that you all had a great day yesterday. Mine was just fine. First, thank you all for watching God, Sex, and Love, the talk show last night. In the event that you didn't, go ahead and check out the episode with Miss Hamer uh, on GodSexAndLove.com. Everything I like that, man. Yesterday, right? Well, on my end, I mean, it was a accomplished day. I mean, I ran some errands. I went and did the show that I was scheduled to do. I think it went well and everything like that. So it's God be the glory, thankful that, I can, meet my obligations and everything like that. And excited for the event next month. I'm going to be doing like the same group except in a different area. Basically, I went and did a show at a summer camp. And so I went to Marietta yesterday, and I think I'll be going to Dunwoody next month. I can't remember, but something like that. And yeah, I made this like spy themed, kid friendly mystery experience. And I think it all came together. I mean, I had to kind of revamp it a little bit once I got there and realized, like, you know, some different factors and whatnot. But outside of that, I think it came together well, and they seem to enjoy themselves, and so that's all you can hope for when you're doing something out here, man. So that's what was going on in my lane, and then those of y'all that watched the after show, then y'all know that I previewed the cast. I previewed the cast and everything like that. Both Kelvin and I, my co-star, watched it together for the first time, the rough draft. And yeah, man, I, I feel pretty good about it. I mean, obviously we have to go through it with a fine-tooth comb, everything like that. But regardless, shout out to Boomer Smith. He's done an amazing job with everything that I presented to him, and super thankful. And yeah, I think you guys are gonna be seeing it real soon. I don't think there's too much to change or anything like that. So that was going on in my bubble, right? However, I mean, let's go ahead and just say hallelujah and praise God for the hot button issue that was addressed on yesterday. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and acknowledge the fact that I'm aware of the overturning of Roe versus Wade. Those that know, um, yeah, I believe myself and other believers are, celebrating this. But I mean, what does this mean? That's the thing. That's the interesting thing. Basically, it just means that it turns the what? Ooh, how can I break this down? Basically, what happened is that the Supreme Court gave the states the power, basically, to decide how they're going to handle abortion, basically. And I guess the good thing is it seems that the majority of Americans or people or states, however you want to look at it, are pro-life. Now, yeah, there might be some people that, are in their feelings about it. But I mean, I'm sure there's still some places that some states that are, going to, make their decisions regarding it in I guess, in a pro-choice way. Now, granted, I know like in every state, there's probably both types of people or whatever, but I mean, it seems like the majority is pro-life, based on like what I'm seeing or hearing regarding like different states that are going to make the decisions and in a pro-life way. So, I mean, and I feel like that's good news. That's saving countless lives and everything like that. I shared with you all in the past, like the different situations that would have led to me not being here, including, if someone had made that decision, back in the day, like again, if my grandmother had made that decision when she was conceived with my father, if my mother had made the decision after she found herself a single mother after my father passed, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I mean, and I am a mother now, you know what I'm saying? And going through the process of, carrying a life and now rearing a life and everything like that is it's a beautiful process. And I think we have to just change on our perspective when it comes to how we look at life and how we look at children. Because I'm not gonna lie, like I think I've shared with you guys multiple times here, but just for the record, I did. I don't know if I looked at children as a burden, but I just knew I wasn't ready for certain consequences. The majority of my life, my single life, I took whatever precautions needed, mainly remaining abstinent for the longest time, and things like that to make sure I wasn't making choices that were going to affect my life, so before time, you know what I'm saying? Like, so there's plenty of options, for people. It's not that your options are gone, I mean, I guess you know what I mean? You have plenty of options before a child is conceived. But when it comes to once a child is conceived, then I mean, and there's still options there as well. But yeah, I guess depending on where you live is where this abortion option may not be, I guess, legal anymore. At least here in America, but we'll see what the Lord do with everything. But that's some good news and some, again, a hot button topic or whatnot. I was thinking about should GSL address it. I know we talked about it in the past, even though only one brave soul showed up to the conversation that day. But we'll see. We'll see if I can. I don't know. We'll see. But regardless of that, I think that was part of the inspiration today. Because when I got up, I woke up at 2:52. I woke up at 2:52 this morning, and I was going to try to go back to sleep, but that didn't necessarily work. I ended up getting up and I guess getting distracted, working, whatever the case is, and reminding myself of like just getting familiar with what was going on, basically. While I was asleep. And yeah, so basically by the time my alarm came off at 4 or went off at 4, I listened to my prayer meditation, but I was kind of distracted the whole time. I can't even remember what I was thinking about, but I just was thinking about everything else. And by the time that wrapped up, I started to read the verses until around 2:52. And it led me to well, I might as well read it. Let me to this verse right here. Luke 2:52. And Jesus increased in wisdom and stature and favor with God and man. So that verse led me to read, ended up reading the entire Luke, or the majority of Luke 2, which is pretty much the account of, Christ being born, to when he was blessed, to, when he was with his family and got lost, quote unquote, and everything like that. So that all of that, and so it wraps up with that account. So I'm just going to share some of the verses that stood out to me, and I'm gonna let y'all get back to y'all Saturday, right? So Luke 2:27 says, and he came by the Spirit into the temple. And when the parents brought in the child Jesus to do for him after the custom of the law. Then took he him up in his arms and blessed God and said, Lord, now lettest thou thy servant, uh, yeah, depart in peace according to thy word. For mine eyes have seen thy salvation, which thou hast prepared, before the face of all people, a light to lighten the Gentiles and the glory due thy people Israel, or glory to thy people. No, excuse me, glory of thy people Israel. So basically, this was the quote from Simeon. He was I guess a devout man of God at that time, and the Lord had told him that he wouldn't pass until he saw the child or salvation, basically. And so when Mary and Joseph brought Jesus to the temple to be blessed, or whatnot, this is what he said. The interesting thing, one of the things that stood out to me in this moment, even though I didn't write it down, is throughout Luke 2, there was these moments where it was saying that Mary marveled at this, or you know what I mean? Like, it was just, it said that multiple times in there. Now, I mean, granted, man, you were visited by an angel, right? And told that, hey, you're going to be pregnant here, a virgin birth, you know what I mean? All of that. But it was just interesting, different things that she marveled at, and according to the quotes in the Bible and whatnot. So y'all can read those and see those moments. But for some reason that stood out to me, and I was trying to figure out exactly why it was. I think like when I first read it this morning, and I got to the part about Simeon holding Jesus in his arms while he was blessing him and whatnot. I know this is going to sound terrible, but I don't know if it was a thought or if it was like I don't know what it was, but basically some kind of thought came into my mind, was like, either what if Simeon had dropped him, or what if he had done something evil to him, you know what I'm saying, in that moment while Jesus was vulnerable, like, which, I mean, we know that Satan was doing, right? Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, at that time, there was a decree out to kill all the babies around that time as well. I have to go back and read that again to make sure that I'm being correct here. But I believe there was again Herod, right? Like, because that's because he had sent the wise men out to kind of to be like they were going to go find Jesus, and they was like, well, let me know where he's at, basically. And then they didn't let him know where he was at. I mean, I didn't read about that part today, but I don't know, I guess. And as I reflected, and I kept, like I said, I kept going back and forth about whether I was going to just give y'all that to read on y'all's own, or if I was going to read the verses that I just read to you, because that's what it made me think of. But I guess this paired with something I heard the other day, because I was listening to this man's testimony, and he talked about abortion at one point, and because he had said he had some time where he went to heaven, because I guess he had passed, or not passed, but he was in the hospital or something like that. He went to heaven, and he saw, and the things that he saw, he was sharing it. And he was saying that there was a bunch of children, and that Jesus had told him that these were the aborted children, and that Jesus was sad about that, because he said that Jesus said to him that he had sent them to help these people, and basically, and they so. Again, when Jesus was in this vulnerable state, it was very interesting, again, that I got led to this today, right after this thing that happened yesterday. But anywho, because it wasn't my intention to fully go in on Roe v. Wade, you know what I'm saying? But here we are, you know what I mean? But anyway, like, that's what people are doing at the end of the day. You're when these children, humans, or whatever, we're in this vulnerable state, right? When we're supposed to be caring and nurturing and all of that to these children, we're, like destroying them. You know what I mean? And destroying whatever potential and future that they could have to bless you. I think, again, we need to change our perspectives when it comes to kids. That's what I was saying earlier. That there's accounts in the Bible that says that that children are like our inheritance. Children are like our arrows. Children are like the fruit of our loins and everything like that, right? And children are blessings. We don't know who we are, quote unquote, aborting. That person could be the person that changes your whole dynamic of your family. You know what I mean? The person that could invent something or, whatever it is, like whatever they do. And I don't know. So I guess I just was reflecting on that this morning as I was writing down that verse. And so I just shared it with you, y'all, because again, it just kept standing out to me. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna write it down. That's a lot, but I'm gonna write it down. But let's read this part right here before I tell y'all what else came to me. So basically, Luke 2:46-49 stood out as well. And it says, and oh goodness, my handwriting. It says, and I can't, no, it might be it. I just forgot to cross my T. All right. And it came to pass that after 3 days, they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of the doctors, both hearing them and asking them questions. And all that heard him were astonished at his understanding and answers. And when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said unto him, Son, why hast thou dealt with us? Why hast thou thus dealt with us? Behold, thy father and I have sought thee sorrowing. And he said unto them, How is it that ye sought me? Wist ye not that I must be about my father's business? Few things here. So basically, that those verses that I just shared was they went to I guess the city or something like that, and basically and Jesus was with them, and then I guess he had got separated from them. So when they left, and it was like maybe a day into their journey back home, they realized that Jesus wasn't amongst them and their people, and so they went back, and so I guess they took 3 days looking for him, and then he turned out to be in the with the temple, right? I'm gonna be wrong about that because I do have that. Yeah, the temple. So we went to the temple. He was talking to like the doctors and all those people and asking them questions and all that type of stuff. Now listen. Now obviously Jesus was God in the flesh, you know what I'm saying? So he did have that authority, you know what I'm saying? I guess what it came into my heart about a couple of times, not just today, but another time I thought about this as well, that like stuff Jesus said, I mean, I know it was on another level, but like, not saying it was borderline like rude. Like, I'm not saying he was rude. I'm just saying like it was like, it depended on like people's perspective, right? By Southern standards, that would be considered disrespectful for him to be like, hey man, look, I gotta be about my father's business. Like, yeah, why you looking for me? Like I don't know. I never fixed my mouth to say nothing like that to my mama. But obviously, with Jesus being God, I mean, that's hierarchy there, but yeah, so that was interesting. But I mean, the other thing, well, it goes back to the first verse and the inspiration for today of the wisdom, stature, and favor. So yeah, I mean, he was learning, he was growing, he was being about his father's business from that early age. And again, if we think about, again, this conversation about the children and abortion and all those different things, I mean, children may know their purpose. You know what I mean? Some. Now, and I am not saying they wise enough to make every decision by themselves, and they know every child is not Jesus. So let's put that on the table as well. But I mean, but we can rear them right in a way for them to be established, know their purpose from that early age, and that will only help them in that, in the future. For the topic of the day, wisdom, stature, and favor. Establishing those things at that young age, will hopefully be a blessing to them in their older ages. And that is the juice. That is the juice today. There's another thing that came into my heart and mind this morning while I was reflecting on this. And it was just how much that we don't know. Even me as I was, because I was like, I need to get a better understanding before I speak on like the Roe v. Wade situation, you know what I mean? And things like that. And maybe all of us need to just kind of humble ourselves, right? And do a little bit of study about history, right? Do a little bit of study about, the Constitution and things like that. Because I know people are feeling like their rights are being impeded upon, whichever one. Impede, yeah, I think that's the right one. Anyway, they feel like their rights are being taken by not being allowed to kill their unborn children. And the thing is, there's nothing in the Constitution about that. So with, the Supreme Court giving that right back to, that power back to the states and allowing them to make whatever decisions that they want to make regarding it, is, and when that say the states, that ultimately means us, because we're electing the people, right? The people, we the people are electing those, or well, supposed to be. Let's not go there though. We the people, right? We elect the individuals that are in the state level. So yeah. So it's us that controls that, and that's pretty much what the Supreme Court did. Put that back in our hands to elect the people to work on our behalf on what we want, and everything like that. And so, like I said, it's good to know that the majority seems like, they have an understanding of life and that it has value, even when they're in those vulnerable states. And if nothing else, I took a quick little look at the Declaration of Independence, and I'm gonna leave y'all with this quote that y'all can let marinate throughout the day alongside of your going deeper and everything like that. So yeah, go deeper with that. What was it, Luke 2? Go deeper with Luke 2, and then go deeper with your history lesson. Take a look at the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, and so we can familiarize ourselves with the things that we're so enraged about, right? Just saying. So according to the Declaration of Independence, July 4th, 1777, it says, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So there you go, friends. We all have a right at life, and that's the juice. I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I look forward to talking to you all on Monday, the Lord's will. Bye-bye. And there you go, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, anybody listening to the sound of my voice today. I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired by the juice. Yes, I understand that, this thing is a hot button issue. Maybe everybody might not be celebrating the good news and whatnot. And again, I think, when you hear that something has been overturned, people are like, just, being led by emotions and whatnot regarding that. But again, I think it's good to know that the majority of of Americans, it seems that, value, they value life and they are fighting for life. And yeah, the Declaration of Independence, is one of those things that say that we all have that right. We've been given that God-given right to life, and everything like that. And the other thing, there was another thing that got brought to my attention this morning to think about as well. Like say for instance, I guess maybe these people that are really upset about this, because again, if the majority of people are not necessarily upset about this, and your state reflects that, then this is great that, okay, the state is going to uphold what the people want in regards to this matter, right? But then, I'm sure that there are states that, they have their views, and the majority of the people in those states, I guess, might share in those views. And so that means that I guess that doesn't change for you. So why are you mad? Why are you mad that another state is pro-life? And if you're in a state that's not pro-life, for example, like, then just, you don't have anything to be angry about, it doesn't affect you, right? If you're, it does because it's a horrific act. However, if you're not thinking about that and you're living in a place like a state that believes that that's cool and okay and whatnot, then you I guess keep rocking, and God to go to God, and and that's between you and God, at the end of the day. And and I get that there's people that believe both. I guess if you just look at two sides of the coin, there's different types of people in all of the states. And so, I guess I get it. But yeah, I think we should just get more familiar with, what the Constitution says. And the interesting thing that also stood out to me this morning that had me laughing before I went ready to go live, because I was like, Lord, you just use something. I know people struggle with like history, right? And they're like, oh, things were never great here in America, and all these different things that they're saying. And I get it, there was a lot of horrific things that happened, and people made choices that, obviously are still a stain on this nation. You know what I'm saying? So no, things aren't perfect, quote unquote. But no human is perfect. No country is perfect. Let's put that on the table, right? So yeah, but the thing about America is that, it was established with certain rights, freedoms, and whatnot from the beginning. So even when I took a look at the Declaration of Independence and seeing that, meant that these people were led by God to write this all those years ago, that is taking effect and holding up now, and everything. And it's just another thing to me to just show the divine nature of God, and how he is the ultimate planner, and how he set all this stuff in motion anyway. And yeah, so, just more evidence to me. But I guess it just depends on, you and your perspective on how you see it. But that's the juice this morning, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all go. Y'all have a great weekend. And yes, I look forward to talking to you all on Monday, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.